T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Donnelly Field at St. Anthony's High School, Orland and Cohen present the T&D Sports Video High School Lacrosse Game of the Week. Hi everyone, Mike Trezza along with Chris Caiozzo here at St. Anthony's, just about set for the opening face-off. It is St. Ignatius of Cleveland in here to take on the Friars of St. Anthony's, Chris.
Mike, a beautiful day for some boys lacrosse. 32 degrees here in Huntington, New York. I'm looking forward to a great game. Number one in the country, St. Anthony's Lacrosse for St. Ignatius out of Ohio. Mike, a couple key players we should look out for today.
Yeah, so for St. Ignatius, they're led by number 7, Drew Weinacher. He is the coach's son. And also number 9, Luciano Iacovone.
Coach's son, he must be the best player for a reason. Committed to Denver University out west, a highly recruited D1 recruit. And Luciano Iacovone, not committed anywhere yet, but having a lot of Division I offers.
And for St. Anthony's, the Friars, they're led by a pair of attackmen. It's number 32, Owen Duffy, as well as number 7, Mike Leo.
Owen Duffy, one of the country's best attackmen in high school lacrosse, committed to be a Tar Heel. He is only a junior, Mike, unbelievable. And number 7, Mike Leo, committed to Syracuse, staying in the state of New York, another attackman, but he's a senior.
Let's take a look at the goalie matchup for the Wildcats of St. Ignatius. In goal today, it's going to be number 12, Logan Reckon, and St. Anthony's will switch on and off, but for the first half, it is going to be number 18, Kevin Barrett in net.
Logan Reckon, a returning senior for St. Ignatius, a lot of experience in the net, a lot of games under his belt. We'll see if he's the real deal versus number 1, St. Anthony's.
Just about set for the opening face-off. It's going to be number 2, Braden Lair, against number 23, Naso. Jordan Naso will take the opening face-off for the Friars.
Jordan Naso committed to Holy Cross, Massachusetts.
St. Ignatius in yellow will move left to right here in this first half. The Friars in the white. Naso comes away with the opening face-off. Gets it ahead. Shot goes wide, out of bounds, but will stay with St. Anthony.
I like the aggression off the face-off. Naso right away takes the first shot of the game, and St. Anthony's will start behind the net.
He knows he's a fogo, but he figures before I get off, let me see if I can get a quick scoring opportunity. The Friars now around the perimeter. Leo on the right side. Duffy, spin move. Trying to find Spidell, and St. Anthony's is on the board.
Quick early goal, as we will see a early goal from St. Anthony's. Get a number on who scored that goal. Very quick, very fast moving game here, lacrosse. A lot of back and forth.
Naso and Lair once again will face it off. So St. Anthony's quickly up 1-0. 11:29 left to go in the opening quarter.
And Naso another win. Couldn't field it cleanly though, Mike.
Ball goes out of bounds. Let's see if it stays with the Friars. It's actually going over to St. Ignatius.
See what St. Ignatius can do on here in their first offensive possession here, Mike. You know, you maybe get it to Weinacher, Iacovone. Let's see if they can put in a goal early for the Wildcats.
Moriarty back to Kempton. Matt Kempton. looking to set up. Round the perimeter it goes to Taliak. Now back to Moriarty on the move to his right. Here's Weinacher. The Wildcats feeling things out. Taliak behind. Jacobone looking to set up in front.
A lot of early ball movement here. St. Anthony's defense really pressing them early.
Taliak has to give it up. Friars defense keeping them away. Jacobone thought about now Jacobone pulls it out. Two-man game on the near side.
St. Anthony's not even letting them get a shot off here as we have 10 minutes remaining in the first period.
Taliak looking to dodge. He's knocked off the play, has to give it up. Moriarty. The shot from Weinacher went wide.
Just missed. What a great shot there off the right side by Weinacher. Just missed hitting the back of the net.
Pass came from Moriarty as he was falling down. Jacobone.
Good turnover there for the Friars.
Ball goes out of the zone, and it's controlled.
That's Duffy. And
By
he
Duffy.
misses wide there, Mike. Duffy, he had that ball at midfield. By the time he got that shot off, he was on the 20-yard line. Very quick player in Duffy.
Here's a quick chance. There's a save by Reckon.
Off the pipe, but a great shot there by the Friars.
That shot came from Ponzio.
If St. Ignatius wants to stay in this game, they got to play their pace of lacrosse. Friars play a very fast-moving pace. They're number one in the country for a reason. St. Ignatius, if they want to stick around, Mike, they're going to have to play a great pace, their pace, as Coach Weinacher said. It's another goal.
With the goal. Patrick Carragher scoops one in on the ground.
As we see the replay here, Carringer up top just rips it in for the Friars to give them a 2-0 lead.
No chance for Reckon to react on that one. And St. Anthony's, as Chris says, up to a quick 2-0 lead.
The North Merrick native junior here in the Friar program, controlling the lead for the Friars.
This time it's DiVincenzi to take the face-off for St. Ignatius, once again against Naso.
Naso, 2 for 2 so far on the faceoffs.
Make that 3 for 3 as he controls it. Calandrino's after it. Calandrino dives after it. Let's see who it goes to. It's staying with the Friars.
Friars playing their pace of lacrosse, a very fast-moving pace here early, and a great defensive pairing for them too. They haven't had, I think they've had one shot, St. Ignatius, on goal, and it just missed.
Finnerty to Calandrino. Spin move. Now the shot. There's a save by Reckon.
What a save by Reckon. Moving up the ball quick now is St. Ignatius. They need to get on the board here if they want to stick around with this Friar program.
Gets it ahead to Ernie. Ernie is knocked off the play and separated from the ball. Now back the other way to the Friars. Tough hit. Now play getting physical.
Real
Ernie
physical
tries
here.
to control and he can. And finally, Spidell comes away with it.
Mike, I saw in the warm-ups, St. Anthony's running a very physical drill. Very physical program. They're number one for a reason, like I'm going to keep mentioning. They play a physical game, and if you're not going to play physical, you're not going to keep up with the Friars.
Spidell behind the goal. Spins and fires and scores.
3-0 early, and St. Anthony's controlling the game as we see a replay here. Spidell off the left end scores his first goal of the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's his first of many. another junior on this team, a Setauket native, and talking early with the coach from St. Anthony's, he mentioned it's a junior-led team. A few seniors, about 20 commits, going Division I. Watch out for the junior class here at St. Anthony's, a very strong class.
Lair back for the face-off. But Naso once again comes with it. 4 for 4 on face-offs. Naso controls. Gives it up to Mike Leo.
The Crusaders of Holy Cross are getting a great fogo in Naso.
Around the perimeter. Carragher. Back behind. Gets it back. Up top. Now St. Anthony's a little more deliberate. Nice feed from Duffy to Wetter. Actually to Ponzio for the goal.
Ponzio, as we see here on the replay, they were moving the ball pretty slowly, kind of faking out St. Ignatius, and he just winds up and scores. Ponzio, the Ronkonkoma native, scores. Took that face off. Another fogo. They might use two, Naso and Moon. So, maybe, Coach Weiserick getting other guys in here early. This could get really ugly, Mike. St. Ignatius, though, controlling the ball now. Again, they have to play their aggressive style of lacrosse. Coming in, winners two out of the last 3 games, trying to get a win here in Huntington.
Spin move by Jacobon. There's the shot. Shot sails wide, but it's going to stay with the Wildcats.
See if Weinacher and Jacobon can get the top 2 scorers on this team as Weinacher misses wide, Mike.
Weinacher's shot went wide. Barrett's not had a lot of action so far. As the Friars lead 4-0, 5:42 left to go in the first. From here at St. Anthony's, along with Chris Caiozo, Mike Dresden.
All it takes is one for St. Ignatius if they can get on the board here early.
Good shot from Kempton, and he scores.
Like I said, all it takes is one. Let's see if St. Ignatius can get on the board here as we see a replay up top. What a shot by Kempton.
Matt Kempton, the senior, with the rocket, and he put St. Ignatius on the board. It is now 4-1 St. Anthony's, 5:28 left in the first.
Another guy who I haven't talked about much, Gino DiVincenzi, a commit to Canisius. See if he can get on the board here for St. Ignatius.
So Lair and Naso will face it off, the two who started the game.
It was a quick entrance for Moon and a quick exit.
Finally, the Friars. Nope. Ball's going to go over to the Wildcats.
Like I said, all it takes is one, Mike. Let's see if they could score another one here quick to get back in this ball game.
Drew Weinacher with the ball near side. Weinacher stops and looks for some help. Max Hartley in at midi.
Coach Weinacher said earlier this week they're a physical program, and he's just going to let the guys play their style of lacrosse.
Jacobon is behind again. Jacobon a couple spins as he looks for an open player.
St. Anthony's a great defensive team. They only let up 6 and 7 goals, so 13 goals total in their first 2 games. .440 left here in the first. St. Anthony's leads 4-1 over the Wildcats of St. Ignatius.
Wildcats taking their time, deliberate. Jacobone
Double
wanted
team
to
now.
get off a shot.
Look at that harassing St. Anthony's defense, but St. Ignatius gets it back, Mike.
Really worked over by Kearns and Jenkins. Ball is free and kept in the zone by the Wildcats.
Jacobone's got to get on the board here for St. Ignatius. If they can get him the ball, set him a screen, get him going. Him and Weinacher, silent so far in the first.
Taliak gives it up to Weinacher. Weinacher looking to set something up, gives it off to Kempton.
The ref playing tic-tac-toe over there. Can't get out of the player's way.
Weinacher to Jacobone. Around the perimeter. Down to 3 minutes left to go in the quarter.
Last 3 minutes of the first, St. Ignatius controlling the pace of play.
Jacobone to Moriarty. Moriarty once again falls down as he gives it up to Kempton. There's a save by Barrett.
What a save by Barrett. The pipe saved him there. Hit bounced twice off the pipes.
Moriarty's looking to keep it in, and he can. St. Anthony's comes away with it. Nice defensive play that time by Kearns.
It'll stay with St. Ignatius, though. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first, alongside Mike Trezor, Chris Caiozo here on the call.
Taliak has to give it up. St. Anthony's really keeping the clamps down on defense. Jacobone tries to spin. He's double teamed. They knock it away from him. McCarthy gets it away from him.
Weinacher ends up with it.
His shot sails wide, but the ball's going to stay with the Wildcats.
Just missed there wide for Weinacher. Him and Jacobone, Mike, have to get on pace. They haven't scored. They've had 2 shots on goal between the both of them, both by Weinacher. And if they, Coach Weinacher said, if we're going to win, those 2 guys have to play well.
We're under 2 minutes to go. Kempton winds up, fires it over the goal.
They're getting the shots on goal, Mike. They just have to go in. St. Anthony's, 5 shots, 4 goals.
Kempton was the guy who scored earlier on that high shot. He tried it again, but too high this time. And the ball goes back over to the Friars.
The Friars have controlled the pace of play here in the first. Only 4-1. St. Ignatius just needs a few to go in their way. Barrett, great, doing a great job behind the pipes.
Here's Carragher.
We'll see a lot of guys rotate in. Coach Weiserick said for St. Anthony's, we'll see 2 different goalies. First half, second half. A lot of offensive weapons. A heavily led by the juniors.
Duffy. Thought about firing, gives it up to Leo. Leo's shot sails way high.
He didn't have the angle on that around the 20-yard line. Harassed by the St. Ignatius D, but he'll stay with the Friars.
Friars very often with 2 behind the net. We're under a minute to go in the first.
40
St.
seconds.
Anthony's on top, 4-1.
Now, if you're St. Anthony's here, this has got to be a quality shot. You're just on almost 30 seconds left. Duffy
now makes his move, tries to spin, tries to slip that shot in, can't get it, and the ball's going back over to the Wildcats with 20 seconds left. Let's see if they can run it up.
Great save there.
Here's a scoring chance, 1-on-1. Nice assist that time. And Jacobone with the goal off the nice feed by Kevin Bradley.
As we see a replay here, Bradley afraid to shoot it. He just gave it up, and Yakavone in the right spot.
So with just 5 seconds left to go in the quarter, St. Ignatius has just cut it to a 4-2 St. Anthony's lead.
I think that goal, if St. Ignatius does decide to come back and make this a game, that goal is going to make the difference.
Lair this time on the face-off against Naso.
5 seconds left.
Naso is yet to lose one.
Got to be quick as we have a stoppage.
Procedure, and the ball's going to go to St. Anthony's.
It's got to be a quick shot. He's going to rip it. Wow.
Naso from midfield, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So we're going to step away at the end of one. St. Anthony's leads 4-2 over St. Ignatius. You're watching T&D Sports Video, Game of the Week.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Welcome back, everyone, to St. Anthony's. Mike Trezor along with Chris Caiozzo. St. Anthony's led 4-0, Chris, but St. Ignatius came back to make it 4-2 at the end of one.
Just under 15 seconds left. They put a late one in, but St. Anthony's controlled the first half of the first period of the game, and St. Ignatius not giving up early.
And Jordan Naso continues to win faceoffs. The Friars have it again. In the white, this time going left to right. The ball goes out of bounds, but staying with the Friars.
Jack Ponzio, committed to Navy, put it in their fourth goal. Let's see if he can put another one in for the Friars.
St. Anthony's setting up the offense. Up 4-2 over St. Ignatius of Cleveland.
I thought St. Ignatius did a great job, Mike. I'll say it again, closing that quarter.
Is Mike Leo up top. To Duffy. Duffy's still with it, now behind the goal. Switches places with Spidell. Duffy. Looking for someone in front, it's picked off.
Kevin Bradley, the senior, with the great interception, and St. Ignatius moving the ball early in the second.
Dunstan carries it into the zone, gives it up for Kempton. Now Taliak on the move to his right.
Can't St. Ignatius keep up with this Friars hot offense?
They're smart to be very deliberate, as they have been. Yakavone behind, looking for Kempton. Now it's Mitchell Reaney. Reaney. He's worked over. We've got a penalty flag coming.
Number 28 for the Friars. That is Jack Ponzio. He's going to come off, and he is not happy.
We got a cross-check called on St. Anthony's. We neglected to mention our officiating crew at the outset. Brendan Wallace, John Tuttle, Joe Rezin-Pollack. So St. Ignatius is going to go man up for the next 30.
See Coach Weiserick calling his defensive play call for his team.
They have to get some opportunities, Chris, on this man up.
Any advantage you can get over the Friars, you got to execute and score.
A little too deliberate. Haliak to Kempton. Shot is blocked in front. Scramble for it is won by St. Anthony's.
It's a big turnover if you're St. Ignatius. You know, you have the man up on the Friars, and the Friars almost turn it over themselves.
Got a timeout. So let's talk about the early part of the season, Chris, for St. Anthony's.
St. Anthony's winners of their first two games over Cardinal Gibbons and Charlotte Catholic in North Carolina. Last week, Friday the 18th, they won 15-6 over Cardinal Gibbons. On Saturday, March 19th, they won 17-7 over Charlotte Catholic, averaging 16 goals a game. If that's not the number one offense in the country, I don't know what is. And upcoming games for St. Anthony's, they have Del Barton, another ranked team in the country, Kellenberg, a local team in Nassau County, and Seton Hall Prep on the 7th. So a tough early non-conference schedule, Mike, for the Friars.
Yeah, you see their entire roster right there in front of you on the screen. A big roster, but as Coach Weiserick told us during the week, Chris, a team that's laden with mostly juniors in key positions this year.
A lot of juniors, as we confirmed with Coach Weiserick, a lot of guys around the St. Anthony's program. Juniors like Dylan Mehta, Patrick Toohey, Jack Ponzio, Duffy. A lot of guys going Division I. Riccardi going to Sacred Heart. Ponzio going to Navy.
William Snyder now getting loose and getting in goal. Just want to remind our viewers, our exclusive broadcast is being brought to us by Orland & Cohen Sports Medicine with over 15 locations in Suffolk and Nassau. We thank them for sponsoring our entire package of high school lacrosse game of the week. From here at St. Anthony's, along with Chris Chiozo, Mike Trezor on hand to bring you all the action today.
As we mentioned, St. Anthony's a junior-led team, but they do have those seniors like Chris McCabe, Max McCarthy, Colin Langston, all commits.
St. Anthony's, Leo, behind the goal.
I'm sure Coach Weiserick in that timeout, you know, his team opened the game well, scoring 4 out of the first 6 goals, but have been slacking lately on the offensive end.
Leo falls down but keeps possession. And now St. Anthony's works it around the perimeter.
They just got to get their offensive game back going with Duffy.
Jackson Green with the spin move. He's double, gives it up.
Great defense.
Ponzio. There's a shot. Goes off of Wrecker.
I believe that St. Anthony's felt too comfortable up 4-0. They're not playing the game that we saw in the first.
Good point there, Chris. I think their intensity level dropped very slightly, as now the Wildcats come away with it. Scramble for it, still loose, and finally the Friars come away with it with Ponzio.
In any sport, you can't play down to the other team's level. Now, St. Ignatius, a great team.
Ponzio, beautiful dish in front, and Spidell scores the goal.
As we see here on the replay, nice lefty shot there by number 2. Jack Spidell right in front of the net.
On a great dish from Ponzio. Jack Ponzio, the midfielder.
Ponzio right out of the box. Gets in, has the assist. Jack Spidell. I was
Jordan Naso on the face-off. He's still digging for it. And St. Anthony's comes away with it.
That was Thomas Riccardi who controlled the ball.
So the Friars now up 5-2. 7:42 left before halftime.
Spidell, 2 out of the 5 goals for St. Anthony's. As I mentioned before, Riccardi committed to Sacred Heart Division I program out of the Northeast Conference. Great ball control there off the faceoff.
Leo on the move to his left, now back to his right.
Haven't heard much from Leo, Mike. He's got to get going for the St. Anthony's team.
Leo guarded by Kempton. Trying to lose him. Around the perimeter. That shot from Calandrino is no good. Sails wide.
Calandrino, a name we really haven't heard much so far in the game, but a nice shot by him.
Friars lead 5-2, under 7 minutes to go before halftime. Calandrino with it again. To Duffy. Duffy trying to work his way in. Behind the back pass won't work. And it's staying with the Friars.
Getting a little tricky there with his moves behind the back. Trying to get on Sports Center.
Very, very cold, windy day here in Huntington. Leo scoops it off the ground.
St. Anthony's looking like they're getting back in control, but St. Ignatius not giving up.
Leo tries to bounce one in, that sails wide. But the Friars will keep it.
Friars had most of the control, unless, that penalty. Otherwise, St. Anthony's has had full control this game.
Spidell up top. Calandrino. Nice setup in front. Pass was not able to be handled. And back the other way is Kempton. Kempton carries it into the zone.
See if they could score here before the half.
Timeout, St. Ignatius.
This is to slow the game down.
We're going to break away. Be back with more action right after this.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Back here in Huntington, New York, St. Ignatius calls the timeout there. They're playing a very smart game of lacrosse here, a very slow-paced. St. Anthony's opposite of St. Ignatius, but St. Ignatius is playing a very deliberate style of lacrosse, a very slow-paced game. Scored 2 goals at the end of the first to get back in this game. Let's see what they could do here.
Yeah, it's a good point, Chris, because they know that if they try to get in a track meet with this Friars team, they're in trouble. So they're being very deliberate on an offense, seeing if they can slowly work their way back in the game.
As we talked to Coach Weinacher early in the week, he quotes, "We know St. Anthony's is a great program. We're looking forward to this game."
Wildcats pass it around the perimeter. Looking for an opportunity.
A little give and go there by Weinacher.
Taliak turns and fires. That shot sails wide, but the ball's going to stay with the Wildcats.
Mike, a great play call out of the timeout by Coach Weinocker. He ran a little give-and-go play with Taliak and Weinocker.
Taliak changes direction, tries to set up in front. That pass goes awry, and it's controlled by the Friars.
Nathan Zoldsey missed that in front of the net. He had a wide-open shot if he would have caught that.
Back the other way quickly is Kearns to Ponzio.
Ponzio looking for the hat trick, Mike, in the first half.
Back behind to Duffy. Duffy standing in the corner. He'll wait for help. 4:47 to go in the half. Friars lead 5-2. Now Duffy makes the move, turns and fires. That shot is wide. Ball is staying with the Friars.
Again, Friars have controlled the pace of play here in the second. I think two offensive possessions by St. Ignatius for all Friars here in the second.
Ponzio looking to set up. Nice dish in front, and they score. It's Carragher with the goal.
As we see here on the replay, a great little fake move by Carragher in front of the net, goes high, goes low, and puts it in the back of the net.
Friars now on top 6-2. 4:19 left before intermission.
That's Carragher's second goal in the first half. Him and Ponzio looking to get the hat trick early.
But Jordan Aso's been the unsung hero, winning every faceoff except for one, I believe. This time he'll work against Lair. He's called for procedure, so the Wildcats get the ball.
At the end of the first, St. Ignatius scored late in the first. Let's see if they could do that here to stay in this lacrosse game.
Weinocker has been quiet up till this point. So is Jacobone. Those two need to get themselves involved in the offense.
It's the guys that weren't the key players that are coming out for St. Anthony's and St. Ignatius. Both Duffy and Leo really are quiet as well.
Here's Kempton. Patted down. Has to give it up. Up top to Reaney. Reaney trying to spin. He can't get anywhere, and he loses the ball.
Great defense by the Friars. Very physical bunch.
But the ball's going back over to St. Ignatius.
Coach Weiserick almost on the field there, not happy with that call.
Kempton on the near side. Up top to Moriarty.
No, I noticed in the first half, Mike, St. Ignatius playing a very quiet and very slow paced. Again, they don't want to have a foot race with St. Anthony's. They're playing their style.
Weinocker tries to spin, gets it off, and he scores!
Being harassed by the St. Anthony's defense, gets low and a good angle, scored on the Friars.
One of the things
on the replay here, as we see Weinocker make a little spin, get on one knee, lefty, shoots, and scores.
One of the things I've noticed, Chris, up till this point is Weinocker's been keeping his distance from the goal. That time he looked for just the right opportunity, and he scored.
He had the one-on-one matchup, one little spin move on one knee, shoots and scores from the left hand. But coming into this game, Coach Weiserick, I'm sure, did their tape and their film, focused in on Weinocker, the Denver commit, and he kept him quiet first half.
Another face-off win for Naso, as St. Anthony's lead 6-3.
Naso has field in front of him, Mike.
He gives it up on a nice feed. The shot is blocked in front. Wildcats after it, and they'll get it.
Great defensive possession by the Wildcats as we're approaching 2 minutes.
6-3 St. Anthony's, 2.5 left before halftime. Ball is loose, and it's scooped up by Max Hartley. Hartley gives it up behind. Here's Jacobone.
A little deja vu from the first. Let's see if they could score here late, the Wildcats.
Around the perimeter to Max Hartley. Hartley gets it back, now on the move to his left.
See if Yakovone can get in on the offensive game. And great defense by the Friars here. No let up by number 66, Dylan Meda.
Behind the goal, they send it. Yakovone thought about the shot, passed it up. Shot instead came from Whitley, and that shot sails wide.
Whitley, a first-year starter for the Wildcat program, junior at St. Ignatius.
A minute and a half left in the first. In the first half, I should say. We've got a timeout on the field. Once again, called by St. Ignatius.
I think a great timeout there by Coach Weinacher. Coach Weinacher, Mike, around the St. Ignatius program, played for St. Ignatius. And he, as we talked to him early, when he was playing, there was only 20 programs in the state of Ohio. Now over 200. So he's seen the lacrosse, sport of lacrosse, I should say, get more attention. 200 programs. You know, big spots are Virginia, Long Island, New York, Ohio, getting attention on the map.
Yeah, it's funny because as he's building his program, he's one of the guys building the sport in the state of Ohio, as you mentioned.
His fourth year as head coach, he played at Harvard. He actually was a football recruit, went in there in the year 1995, and he played football, and then they recruited him for lacrosse. A two-sport Division I athlete, and he passed it down to his son, Drew.
And he's come in here with a really, really good game plan. Listen, he knows he's got a tough road ahead to try to beat St. Anthony's, but I think his very broad goal today is to keep it close. He's done that. It's 6-3 with a minute and a half left in the second.
I think you can't ask for anything more from this Wildcat team. A couple of shots went wide, but I think we'll see, but as we still have more time here left in the first. But down 3, not too bad for the Wildcats versus the number 1 team in the country.
Wildcats looking to eat some clock. Down to a minute 20.
Mike, they scored very late in the first. If they could do it, they would cut it down to 2 goals going into half, which would make Coach Weinacher a very happy coach.
Kempton looks for Yakovone, finds him. Now Weinacher.
He has a good one-on-one game. He just has to get that angle.
Kempton up top. Kempton's had a tough time keeping his feet today. Moriarty on the far side. Down 40 seconds left in the half. Moriarty knocked off the play. Taliak. Out of bounds and going to St. Anthony's.
Big turnover there for the Wildcats, and St. Anthony's has little time. Let's see if they can get it upfield quick for a quick score before half.
We're down to 15 seconds. Let's see if they have a chance for a shot. We've got a timeout called by St. Anthony's with just 12 and a half.
I like that timeout by Coach Weiserick. You're drawing up a play here. You go up 3, looking to go up 4.
And I'd just like to remind you, our broadcast is brought to you by our great sponsor, Orland & Cohen Sports Medicine. Over 15 locations on Long Island. If you're injured playing sports, Chris, they're the guys to come to.
As we are in a timeout here, 12 seconds left in the
second quarter. And as you mentioned, Keith Weiserek, good timeout call by him. He wants to set up for one more shot, see if he can get that extra goal before the half.
If I'm Coach Weiserick in that huddle, you know who he's going to. His big guys. We got Duffy, we got Leo. It's going to one of those 2 guys. But look out for Ponzio. 2 goals here early in the first half, Mike.
Yeah, Jack Ponzio has played a really good game. He's a midfielder, a junior out of Ronkonkoma.
Heavily stacked junior class for this Friar team. Number 1 in the country this year. I'm probably going to stay the same for next year. A big roster here for St. Anthony's. They got guys that could play. Very deep team.
So just 13 seconds left in the half. Let's see what the Friars can do to get that extra goal. Behind, around. Duffy scoops it, hits the post. Carragher tries for the rebound, but too late, and that's the end of the first half.
Duffy, a great shot before the half. I called that. Weiserick had his star take that last shot. Well, went off the pipe twice.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the second half and all the action right after this. You're watching the Orland and Cohen High School Lacrosse Game of the Week, brought to you by T&D Sports Video Productions.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Back here at Cy Donnelly Field on the campus of St. Anthony's High School. Chris Cayozzo alongside Mike Trezza. Now, 6-3, your halftime score. St. Anthony's leading over the Wildcats of St. Ignatius. As we take a look back on the first half, pace of play was a big thing here for the Wildcats. They played a slower game than the St. Anthony's, as I mentioned to Mike in the first half. St. Anthony's controlled the pace of play, but St. Ignatius did a great job in the second half of the first and the second, scoring late to stay in this ball game, 6-3. For St. Anthony's, Jack Ponzio has 2 goals. Jack Spidell and the Jacks are doing it all for the Friars. Jack Spidell and Jack Ponzio, along with Patrick Carringer, the junior out of North Merrick, scoring 2 goals as well. They're looking for the hat trick in today's game. And we're going to see a different goalie for the Friars. Is number 44, William Snyder, the senior out of Bright Waters, Long Island. And so we were talking to Coach Weiserick before the game, me and Mike, and he said you will see 2 different goalies. As Mike joining me back here in the booth, Mike, I was telling the listeners that St. Anthony's played a very fast-paced first period, and we knew first half. We knew that was going to happen. St. Ignatius played a great second half of both the first and the second. They have to come out fast. If they come out slow, Mike, they're not going to win this game.
Yeah, I think that Coach Weinacher came in with a good strategy. Again, I think that he knew that if he tried to get into a very high-scoring contest, I think he told you and me during the week that his goal was he likes maybe a 12-10, 13-12 kind of game. So I think the way that the game is playing out in the first half, Chris, really favors his kind of game plan.
It does. He mentioned to you, Mike, he likes those tight games, and it is tight. It's 6-3. And, they have to play a more aggressive style, though. It could be slow paced, but it has to be aggressive. And
Orland and Cohen game of the week. We've got some games coming up for you, including a girls lacrosse game, and that's going to be Monday the 4th. So a week from today, Chris, we're going to have the girls getting after it. Bayport, Blue Point against Sayville. That should be a good one.
This would be a great one. But Bayport, Blue Point, always a highly rated lacrosse team. Sayville on the rise in Suffolk County. And that'll be at 4 o'clock, and looking forward to that one.
We've got much, much more action over the next few weeks. A lot of really top-ranked teams in Suffolk, in Nassau, girls, boys. We've got public schools. We've got private schools, a potpourri of all sorts of lacrosse.
It's Long Island's time to shine. This is Long Island's main sport, lacrosse, and we got a lot of great public and private school matchups for you here on TND.
You look up and down the roster of most of the really good D1 colleges, they are absolutely stocked with Long Island kids.
Yeah, we got 20 right here on St. Anthony's and about 5 to 7 guys committed now for, actually they have 7 guys, as according to Coach Weinacher, as we spoke to him. They have 7 recruits, St. Ignatius. So a team out of Ohio, and as we mentioned before, Mike, Ohio not a big lacrosse state, over 200 programs now in the state.
There you take a look at Keith Weiseruk, one of the deans now of coaches here on Long Island. Many, many great St. Anthony's alumni over the years.
Yes, he's sent guys all over the country. The best, Duke, UNC, Johns Hopkins, all over the country. Best programs. He has national title winners, alumni that come back and train these guys. Very, very highly rated coach. He's known all over the country, Coach Weiserick.
So just about set for the opening face-off of the third quarter from here at Cy Donnelly Field on the campus of St. Anthony's High School. Mike Trezza along with Chris Caiozzo. Jordan Naso has been a beast on face-offs today, and that's been key for the Friars. Let's see if he can win this one. And once again, he's working against Braden Lair.
The Fogo guys, Mike, never get the credit they deserve, and Naso winning a bunch of his face-off today early in the game.
Ponzio comes away with it. Nice save that time by Recker, and it's back the other way.
Recker staying in goal for the second half, and that was a weird play as the attackman Spidell cut in front of him. Great save there. I don't know if they want to call that a save or an interception, according to the stat crew, but a great play by Recker.
Jacobone on the move to his right. Still has the ball, now finally gives it up. Lucas Jacobone.
St. Ignatius wants to stay toe-to-toe with the Friars. They got to put one in here.
Moriarty up top.
Will Jacobone stay silent, or will he put one in for the Wildcats?
His Moriarty up top to Taliak. Taliak tries to lose Ponzio. He has to give it up.
Coach
Weinacher. Very deliberate on offense.
Coach Weinacher has to draw up some plays for his stars.
Ball is knocked away by St. Anthony's. It's Langton who separated the player from the ball. And that ball goes in.
Wow, you very rarely see that, as we see on the replay. Max McCarthy trying to clear it, give it back to his goalie, and he puts it in his own net.
So Weinacher will take credit for that one, I believe. And he's on the board for the second time. But more importantly, St. Ignatius cuts it to a 6-4 St. Anthony's lead.
Coach Weinacher a little fired up there. He didn't think he would see that from St. Anthony's. Now 6-4. This is a ball game we have, folks.
Naso against Lair, and this time Lair comes away with it. Lair still with the ball. Now finally gives it up to Weinacher. Weinacher goes behind.
Coach Weiser sticking with McCarthy even after the mistake. That shows a lot out of Coach. He's, you got to stick with your main defenseman. I think McCarthy, besides that little hiccup, he's been playing great.
Max Hartley. Round the perimeter once again, the Wildcats being deliberate on offense.
Yakovone with the ball, and he's been quiet.
Yakovone looking to set someone up. To Hartley. Now up top to Rocco Piriandri.
St. Ignatius only trails by 2. This could be a game changer. The difference between 1 and 3 goals is big in lacrosse. Pace of play great for St. Ignatius.
We're going to be there very soon.
Wildcats.
No, I sold my other house.
Still deliberate.
The one you were at.
Weinacher looking to set up in front to Yakovone. He thought about it, passed on it. Now here comes the shot, and Whitley scores.
What a possession there by St. Ignatius. Passing the ball around here on the replay. Moving it quick, a quick shot, center of the field.
But Yakovone was key on that, Chris. He thought about that shot, passed it up, and set up Whitley beautifully.
It's not all about scoring for Yakovone. He leads the team in points as number 23, that's David Whitley, gets lifted up by Coach Weinacher there in a celebration.
So the Wildcats giving St. Anthony's all they want. They now trail 6-5, and procedure on Naso is going to send the ball over to St. Ignatius. Ball sails out of bounds and going back over to the Friars.
What a possession there. I'm going to keep, implementing pace of play for St. Ignatius. You got to keep the ball if you're St. Ignatius. You can't let St. Anthony's keep scoring like you did in the first.
Meta carries into the zone, now gives it up.
St. Anthony's put up 4 goals within 3 minutes. Unreal pace there. Have been quiet, only scoring 2 goals in the second.
Ponzio stops, now makes his move. Gives it up behind the goal to Duffy. Duffy turns and fires. That shot sails wide, but St. Anthony's keeps the ball.
Duffy has had his shots, just haven't had many go in.
Ponzio brings it back in play. Up top, Leo. Now Green.
What a save there by Reckon. Staying in the game, Coach Weinacher trusting his senior, a returning senior for this Wildcat team.
Recton comes way out of goal, now finally gives it up. 6-5, 8 minutes left in the third. Friars on top of St. Ignatius.
It's all about the game plan, Mike. And Coach Weinacher went into the locker room, said to his team, you got to play your style. I'm going to let you guys play your style. And they've been coming out really hot. Naso, first half, did great on the faceoffs. Second half, not so much.
And the key was when they were down 4-0, he refused to speed up the pace. Kept it nice and slow and deliberate, and has slowly cut into this lead. Now back the other way is Ponzio. Carries into the zone and gives it up to Duffy.
Duffy and Leo, the 2 big stars on this Friar team, have been shut out. And it's been a game of the X factors. Naso, Spidell. You're a true playmaker. You set up your team, And that's what Duffy and Leo have been doing. And that went in.
Leo gets double teamed and still is able to scoop it in as he's falling.
What a goal here on the replay as we see. Leo, as I mentioned, hasn't done much so far. Spins around on the ground and in.
He got squeezed by two players, squeezed in the middle, and was able to put it home.
And we saw that in the first half by Weinocker did the same thing for St. Ignatius. If they get in that little angle, and all they need is just a shot, and they get it in.
Friars back up by 2.
St.
Even
Ignatius,
Chenzi this time working against Naso.
if you're St. Ignatius, you gotta stay at this pace. You let them off a turnover. You let them have the possession, and look what they do. Good teams put it in the net, and that's what St. Anthony's did.
And the Wildcats have won the last 2 face-offs. This time it was DiVincenzi that came away with it. Ball's loose on the far side. Let's see who can scoop it up. Finally, a whistle comes, and St. Anthony's gets the ball.
Yeah, St. Anthony's defense stepping it up. Coach Weisrick not happy how this half started, Mike. Now they have the ball again, looking to go up 3.
Friars now in the offensive zone.
Quick move there.
A shot over the shoulder. That won't work, but the Friars will keep the ball for the moment. We've got a flag coming in late as goals got knocked around.
Extra man on for the Friars. Let's see if they can execute here. Play is blown dead as soon as the Wildcats touch the ball. Whistle blown, Mike.
Let's get the call.
Number 17 comes off 32.
It's Jacobone who's in the penalty box, I believe.
It's a big absence there on the offensive side if you're the Wildcats. Jacobone stays on the field the whole time, and now he looks like he's coming back on.
Did we get a penalty? Did we get a call?
They're meeting, the officials meeting up in a circle, talking about the call. 7-5, St. Anthony's. This is a big possession. Halfway through the third.
Brendan Wallace, John Tuttle, Joe Rezin-Pollock, as we mentioned, our officiating crew, very veteran crew.
The lead official, Wallace, here meeting up with Tuttle. They're calling a technical foul on White, so that'd be St. Anthony's.
30-second penalty. I didn't quite hear what it was for. Did you, Chris?
Push in the back on 32 Gold, and that would be number 32, Brendan Lair.
So Lair, the face-off man.
But they called a technical foul on White. That's what I heard from Wallace.
But either way, the Friars will go man up for 30 with 5:50 left in the quarter. They've got the ball and the 2-point lead.
This is a big possession. If you're St. Ignatius defense, you gotta play almost a perfect possession here. St. Anthony's moving it around quick, Mike.
Carragher gives it up. Here's Leo. Leo scores!
Mike Leo, as we'll see here on the replay, he was quiet in the first half. He said, I'm not going to be quiet, Coach. I want a hat trick. That's number 2 off the left hand from Leo.
Before they could come over and double him, he got that shot off really quickly.
As I mentioned, St. Ignatius hanging, and they cut it to 1, now back up to 3. Going to be tough because St. Anthony's is in a groove now.
Michael Moon, the sophomore, is now on.
As we see Leo
for the
there.
face-off.
Leo very
against
humble.
Lair.
No celebration. Back to business.
Moon was on earlier. I called him by the wrong name, but this time we'll get it right.
That's a big hit by John Klin. The Friars back with the ball.
And back with the 3-goal lead. at 8-5 with 5:11 left in the third.
St. Ignatius
So
can't
much
trail
better.
by much going into the fourth. Very hard to do in lacrosse. And with
Very
the
key possession coming up right here.
very slow-moving offense, you don't want to trail by much going into that fourth.
Carragher. Ponzio. Now Leo with a spin and a shot and a score!
Turn up the noise, Leo. He went into halftime with 0 goals, 0 assists. Now with his third, as we see here on the replay, Michael Leo spins off the left hand and in. His third, he gets the hat trick for the Friars.
He'll be taking those offensive skills up to Syracuse next year, and he's just put the Friars up by 4.
These big possessions, and they're number one in the country for a reason, Mike. They are controlling the pace of play, fast-moving offense, a lot of ball movement. St. Anthony's doing everything right here in the third.
Naso against DiVincenzi. DiVincenzi thought he had it, lost it. Procedure, and that ball will go over to the Friars.
Now, St. Ignatius a little slow on the defensive end, but they come up with it again. Great pickup there by number 21, Kevin Bradley. And a flag is thrown.
Bradley still with it. We've got a penalty flag coming. Kempton.
Leo!
To Weinacher.
Big possession here. They still have the man up. The whistle is not blown yet. So let's see if they could score before the penalty goes in action.
Kempton towards the goal, gives it up. And he scores.
Number 6, Mitchell Reaney. Here on the replay, if I can confirm, it looked like number 6 as he puts it in there. Yeah, that was Mitchell Reaney. Mitchell Reaney on the goal, and we still have a ball game here.
Off the nice feed from Kempton as Kempton moved in.
Kempton.
So it's now 9-6 St. Anthony's, 3:54 left in the third.
Kempton, one of those unsung heroes for Coach Weinacher's team. He does it all. We're not gonna, he's not gonna get the highlights. He's not gonna get the, all the attention. But he has an assist and a goal here in today's ball game.
DiVincenzi against Naso. Naso comes away with it. Almost loses it, but retains it. Gives it up right side for Leo. Mike Leo moves in.
They've closed every quarter well. Let's see if the Wildcats can close the third well and maybe cut it to 2, even 1. They've closed the first and the second. They've closed so efficiently. St. Anthony's just has started every quarter off hot.
Carragher dances behind the goal, defended by 2. Carragher spins, now finally gives it up to Green. Green a couple moves. St. Anthony's looking to take some clock now with under 3 minutes to go in the quarter.
Mike, adjustments. That's what lacrosse is all about. Every sport, you got to make adjustments. And Coach Weiserick said, do not give them that ball late.
Green fires and he scores.
There you go, Jackson!
Jackson Green, his first of the game. The junior from Lloyd Harbor, as we see here on the replay, him getting into the offensive groove, makes one man miss, and then the goalie he puts it in the back of the net, had the goalie fooled there.
Friars now up by 4 goals with 2:45 left in the third.
Going to Harvard in 2 years, part of the Crimson.
They wouldn't even let me visit there when I was a kid.
The Ivy League getting a lot of attention lately in lacrosse. Yale, one of the top programs in the country, along with Harvard. As we mentioned before, Coach Weinacher went to Harvard.
Timeout call? Yes, we do. We have a timeout call by St. Anthony's.
A great timeout there for St. Anthony's.
We're going to step away. We'll hear these words, and we'll be back with more action right after this.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Back here on the campus of St. Anthony's High School, Cy Donnelly Field. And St. Ignatius comes out of the huddle here, Mike, 10-6. They got to put one in the back of the net here to close it, to make it a 3-goal game. Very doable for the Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we hate to belabor it, but I think that their coaches come in with a really, really solid game plan to keep this score low, keep it reasonable, keep St. Anthony's high-powered offense from scoring again and again, and it's been effective. It's only 10-6, and they've got a chance as we move into the later stages of this third quarter.
A team that puts up a lot of goals, 16 to be exact. I think doing a great job on the defensive end if you're St. Ignatius. A little more than I expected from this team, I'm going to be honest.
Calandrino to Finnerty. Shot sails wide, stays with the Friars.
Good possession there out of a timeout if you're Coach Weiserick. That's what you wanted. Just got to put it more center.
Duffy is the quarterback of this offense. Around the perimeter.
Leo's looking for number 4, and then they're bringing a double on him, and now he's on one-on-one.
Leo over the shoulder, and that shot sails wide. Stays once again with the Friars.
I don't know if, up 4, I don't know if you want to be pulling that stuff out yet. You want a good possession here, and you want to go up 5 goals. I understand the move, but you want a more efficient shot.
Spidell gives it up top. Calandrino.
Ball is loose now.
Physical play behind the goal, and the ball is going. Or actually should say staying with the Friars.
See if Duffy, he closed out the second half very well.
Duffy with the turn and shoot, and he puts it in.
What a goal there by Duffy. Closed the second quarter well. Let's see if Duffy, as we see the replay here, Duffy wants the hat trick. That's his second. As we see him go behind the goal, spin in with the left, scores. And the future Tar Heel getting it done here for the Friars.
TV kid.
St. Anthony's now on top by 5 as they lead 11-6. A minute 24 left in the third. From here at St. Anthony's.
Naso back out there.
Naso working against DiVincenzi, and Naso comes away with it again.
Good move there by Naso on the ground. The Fogo, the Holy Cross commit, has been really efficient on faceoffs.
Carries it into the zone, gives it up for Spidell.
Just under a minute here, Mike. This is a possession that St. Anthony's wants to score on. They don't want to give the ball back, which I don't think they will. You could hold on to it. You got to score here. Going up 6 would be huge. 5 and 6 is a good lead going into the fourth here in Huntington.
Jackson Green finally gives it up to Carragher. Carragher slips one, pulls it back out. Now sets up in front. Beautiful goal from Spidell.
Spidell's third of the game. The junior. Great offense production by St. Anthony's, as you see here on the replay. Great little pass in the crease by, that was number 17, Patrick Carragher. He has 2 goals, but he said, you know what, I'll give it up. And Spidell with the goal.
St. Anthony's now starting to pull away as they've doubled St. Ignatius' score at 12-6.
12-6. They are on pace for their season average of 16, maybe even more today Got to give St. Ignatius credit, though. You know, they're sticking in the game. Big hit there for the Wildcats, but they can't come up with it as the ball is loose.
Still loose. Let's see who wants it. Finally, it's McCarthy back the other way for the Friars.
It's all about discipline. McCarthy.
Leo, saved, I reckon.
The post said no, no, no for number 4 for Leo.
Back the other way quickly of the Wildcats, down to just a few seconds. They got the shot away. They'll keep the ball, but we're down to 1.2 seconds.
Behind the goal, it's very tough. I think it'll be St. Anthony's possession.
Oh, you're correct. They send it the length of the field, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. So we'll step away and be back with the fourth quarter and all the action right after this on the T&D Orland and Cohen Lacrosse Game of the Week.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Welcome back, everyone, to St. Anthony's. Mike Trezza on hand, along with Chris Caiozzo. And, Chris, let's take a quick look at the scoring leaders in this game.
A very spread out scoring sheet for the Friars. Got 3 from Spidell, 3 from Leo, and 2 from Carragher to lead them. Even more spread out for the Wildcats. Weinacher with 1. Reckon's the goalie. Yakovone with 1. Whitley with 1. So 3 guys tied with. They all have about one. They haven't had one leading scorer.
12-6 St. Anthony's over St. Ignatius as we start the fourth quarter. St. Anthony's moves left to right. Green, what a shot and what a save by Reckon.
He'll feel that one tomorrow, Reckon, off the right leg. Laid out there.
Yeah, you see it goes.
Keeping his team in the game there with that save.
Jackson Green fired that one, but Reckon was up to the task that time.
He's got to play a perfect fourth if St. Ignatius wants to get back in this game. Nice pick set there. That was number 2, Spidell.
Dodge.
Green to Carragher. Carragher scored!
Carragher gets the hat trick
Here you go, Pat!
along with his teammate, Michael Leo. Carragher just wound up, as we see here on the replay. Carragher makes one man miss, winds up, shoots right past Reckon for the goal. And that's his 3rd today, tied with Leo for the team lead today.
So Patrick Carragher, the junior, getting himself involved in a big way today. He's played a terrific game. And the Friars are on top 13-6. Naso again for the face-off, and again, well, this time it's the Wildcats who come away with it.
See if
They're
the
in
Wildcats,
the yellow, they move right to left.
let's see if the Wildcats could answer here, Mike. They need something, down 7 goals. You need to get moving. I know they played a slow pace, but you need to score something here if you want to stay in this game. St. Anthony's a very aggressive defensive team, having great ball movement up and down the field. You haven't seen much on the offensive side of St. Ignatius.
Kempton moves in.
Kempton with the shot there, high. I'm noticing a lot of stamina from St. Anthony's. They're very well trained. Not that St. Ignatius is not, but they're very slow on the offensive side. What a save there by number 44, William Snyder.
Turning fire by Kempton, and he was turned away by Snyder. Back the other way, the Friars.
Mike, if you're St. Anthony's here, you gotta not kill clock. You really can in lacrosse because there's a shot clock, but you gotta maintain this pace of play because look at that, almost an interception there by St. Ignatius. Says very lollygagging on the offensive end.
Calandrino gives it up.
Ball's kicked.
Let's see whose ball it is. Friars will keep it, and they'll stay on offense with Spidell.
A very nonchalant pass, almost intercepted, but St. Anthony's maintains possession. Hard pick set there. Oh.
We've got some physical play in the middle of the field, and the ball's going back over to the Wildcats.
Number 19, Joseph Calandrino. Almost a little surprised he wasn't called for a penalty there, Mike. We all saw it. Everyone saw it. Kind of just shoved him. That's not allowed, but no penalty for the Friars.
Play getting a little physical on a cold afternoon.
Oh, and that's a big hit.
We've
And
got
a
a
flag. There
player
you
down on St. Ignatius, so we'll
Max-
see if we can get another look at this.
Max McCarthy laid a late hit on a Wildcat. Couldn't get the number of the Wildcat, but it was blatant that it was McCarthy as he's coming off. The refs are going to call it, Mike. If you hit the guy late, it's like anything. Football, lacrosse, you don't see it in basketball that much.
Thankfully.
But Max McCarthy going to go into the box.
Call for a cross-check, I believe.
Like you said, Mike, this game's getting a little aggressive. You know, teams when you're down and you have to play aggressive. And St. Ignatius, I'll give them credit, coming in to play the number 1 team in the country, an unranked team, and you're coming in. You kept pace of play through 3, and now St. Anthony scores 2 quick ones here in the 4th.
That's a 1-minute penalty. Spidell will serve it. So the Wildcats now on the man up. Jacobone behind. They can't take a lot of time here. Kempton thought about it, passed it up. Once again around the perimeter. Behind to Jacobone.
Need a goal here if you're the Wildcats. I like the passing. You need some pick set. You need an open guy, an open lane, something. Can't get the angle there, Jacobone, who has one today.
Taking a little too much time here. Jacobone looking for somebody. Gives it to Kempton. Turned away by Snyder.
Snyder coming in second half. And he's running up the field. Oh, and there's a nice hit. Oh, and a late check there. Is there a penalty? No, there's not.
Oh, yeah, Luke!
Pellegrino there got the ball as number 47, Jaden Jenkins, comes off.
Luke Martin got knocked around a little bit, but was able to keep possession of the ball. So the Friars will go to work now with 7:40 left in the game.
See if St. Anthony's coming another one here. Good offensive possession there with the pick set.
Here's Leo. Leo looking to set up in front. And it is Spidell who puts it home.
Spidell said to Leo, come on, let me get a couple of goals here because Leo gets all the attention. One of the captains on this team. Spidell now with his 4th of the game off a one-legged shot.
Spidell, man, doing what a Spidell can.
I like that reference.
And St. Anthony's now up 14-6.
All St. Anthony's in the late 3rd and early 4th. Now, if you remember, Mike, they cut it to 1 goal, St. Ignatius. Ever since then, a 6-1 run. It was 7-6.
Face-off gets loose, and finally it's controlled by Kempton.
There's a player down, number 23.
It's Naso.
Naso. He's limping. Oh, boy. As Moon might have to come on and take the next face-off. His teammates, when you're playing down, you get a little more aggressive. You don't want to hurt anyone, but you're getting more aggressive because you want that ball back.
You on, Naso?
And Naso comes off clean.
Naso shaken up on the play. Just like to remind you, this exclusive broadcast is brought to you by the good folks at Orland and Cohen Sports Medicine. Over 15 locations on the island. They are numero uno in sports medicine.
As we have Naso, a shot of Naso here on the bench. I think a little brushed up, nothing crazy. Didn't have to, got carried off by his teammates, but maybe he'd give him the rest of the game off, up 7 goals late. St. Ignatius, like he just heard someone say, they got to go. They do.
14-6, St. Anthony's. Under 7 minutes to go in the game.
Weinacher with one, looking for a second.
Weinacker's shot won't work. Let's see who can get to it first. The Friars do, and they'll take possession.
Look, as the game started, more and more fans piled in. We do have a big crowd here in Huntington, and I guess the home crowd, their first home game of the year, scoring 14 goals, 6 minutes left. Can they get to that magic number of 16 goals they were averaging in the first 2 games?
I'm not sure they can cheer. I think their mouths are frozen shut on this very, very cold day.
We're lucky. We're up here in the press box. A high of 32 degrees here in late March.
Friars back on the offense with Mike Leo. He thought about the shot, passed it up top.
Let me tell you, Leo, a smart lacrosse player, doesn't do anything that he doesn't think is going to score a goal. Oh, well.
Sends that shot high over the goal.
I spoke too soon, Mike. And Spidell, I'm sorry, that's not Spidell, 32. Duffy got hit mid-shot. His shot flown high, but it would stay with the Friars.
We also neglected to mention that David Holder is now in goal for St. Ignatius. So Reckon's day is done.
Coach Weinacher did say you might see him in goal.
That shot went wide, but St. Anthony's keeps possession, down to 5.5 left in the game, with the Friars now comfortably on top, 14-6.
Number 36, as Mike mentioned, Devin Holder, sophomore, getting some good minutes versus the number 1 team in the country. Let's see what he could do here. Hasn't let up a goal just yet. Couple shots high for the Friars, but let's see if he can make a save here early. And there it is. Nice save there.
Wildcats get possession of the ball. Let's see if Holder can help clear.
He's got to clear that ball. He's running out of time here late in the 4th.
Right there.
Dunstan on the move with the ball.
Is that not the one you went to?
I think Coach Weinacher switching up his attackman here, number 6, Mitchell Reaney. We haven't heard from him much, Mike. He has a goal in the game.
4:44 left in the game.
Kempton. Same guys, Weinacher, DiVincenzi, Jacobone. These same guys. Starters are still in. No pulling of the starters. And they turn it over. It's a bad turnover for St. Ignatius.
Too deliberate. You were able to be deliberate earlier in the game, but not at this point.
Not right now.
Oh, wow, they have a locker room this year? They go to the locker room this year?
Got to give St. Ignatius credit, though. They stuck with the number 1 team in the country, St. Anthony's. As St. Ignatius, St. Anthony is battling here in the 4th. Mike Trezza, Chris Caiozzo for today's broadcast. Now we have a timeout. It'll go to St. Anthony's. As it's probably get some substitutions in. Up 8, 4 minutes left. And Mike, up 8, Coach Weiser takes the timeout. What is being said here? Is it maybe getting some substitutions in? Maybe just slow down the pace of play?
Yeah, I think he wants to get some of the younger kids in. As he mentioned to us during the week, he's got a little bit of a young squad. It's dominated by juniors, but he may want to get a couple of the sophomores in a game where he's up comfortably 14-6, and just let them get their feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, because St. Ignatius, coming into this game, they were obviously the team that, they didn't know much about them. I think this is their first matchup, Coach Weinacher said. This is their first time playing in Long Island. And, if you're St. Anthony's, you get these guys playing another team. These guys barely see the field, these backups. So playing a good team in St. Ignatius, we'll see if, I think number 13, I don't know, checking in. I don't think you have to check in Lacrosse. That's Joseph Rice. He's a junior, but I think he's going to stay on the sidelines. As 44, Snyder's going to stay in goal for the rest of the game. But great game all around for the Friars, and that's why they're number one, Mike. You play a great offensive pace. You scored 14 goals, still 4 minutes to go. And the defensive side, I've never seen a Lacrosse team with so much aggression, and not in a bad way. Forcing the turnovers. St. Ignatius, just an opposite team, but a lot of credit to St. Ignatius coming in to play the number one team in the country and putting up a good fight.
Friars with possession, just under 4 minutes left to go in the game. We've got the ball going back over to St. Ignatius. St. Anthony's on top, 14-6.
We'll see a substitution. He's on the sideline here. Patrick Toohey. He is from Lloyd Harbor, a junior.
Taliak. That's a save by Snyder. Snyder gets it ahead.
Jackson Green with the wheels.
Green gives it up. And there's a goal by Leo.
Leo, number 5. Mike, he had 0 goals in the first half, as we see on the replay here. Coming down, Jackson Green with the wheels. The extra pass from Duffy. And off the left hand, Michael Leo. 5 goals in the second half. Unbelievable.
That's what you call letting the game come to you. That's what he did here this afternoon. And the Friars are now up 15-6.
All Friars in the second half. Home field, gives you a lot of momentum. With the fans behind you. I know it's cold, but the Friars are hot.
Michael Moon, as we mentioned earlier, the sophomore, will be the face-off man for the rest of this game. Naso shaken up a little while ago, so Moon will take the face-off against DiVincenzi. Moon getting nice and low, so is DiVincenzi. Let's see who comes away with it. Scramble for it. And finally, it's St. Ignatius who scoops it up. It's Tommy Nolan.
Let's see if St. Ignatius gets to end the game here on a high note. You did score 6 on the number one team in St. Anthony. Let's see if they can put in a few more. We have seen a few subs here as Toohey comes on. And the pass is high, Mike. And now it's just getting a little sloppy for St. Ignatius. They haven't cleared the fourth. In the fourth here, it's been very, very sloppy.
Tried to get it into the middle of the field to Whitley, and that pass just sailed right over his stick.
Whitley has a goal today, but hasn't been able to do much here in the second half for the Wildcats.
2:45 left.
Yeah, Luke.
Bounce shot sails high. That shot
Luke
came
Martin.
from Luke Martin.
No substitution. Number 20 in the game, Colin Johnston. He's in the game. So, like I said, during that timeout, Mike, a lot of substitutions.
2:20 left. The Friars will crank it up once again. Spidell spinning. Spidell trying to get the shot off. He can. He's smothered. And the ball goes to St. Ignatius.
Yeah, St. Ignatius, like I said, they just need a goal. Even if you lose, it always is good to finish on a high note, Mike. Let's see if they could do that here. 15-6. St. Anthony's wants that lucky number, 16, that they're averaging. They're not giving up. St. Ignatius looks like they're holding the ball, though. Long pass, erratic pass there. But they have a good lane.
Jacobone grabs it, and Jacobone goes behind the cage. Now sends it back up top.
I think Coach Weinacher is saying, just hold it. Don't give it back to them. You're already, you're losing. I think they might try to get a shot off here. In basketball, they don't, they like to hold it, but St. Ignatius not giving up.
Kempton, Moriarty. Moriarty spins, he shoots, sends it wide, and the ball stays with St. Ignatius.
Like we said all game, St. Ignatius plays a very slow-paced offensive game. Just not enough to beat the Friars today in Huntington.
Weinacher worked over but keeps possession. Spin move by Weinacher. Ball almost escapes the zone, but they keep it in.
Under a minute, Mike, and it's close to being over here. A good trip, though, to New York. Coach Weinacher said he played Mount Sinai, a great program. Yorktown, they tied. Yorktown is a great program as well. They got games coming up, though, versus some good programs in Ohio, and a missed shot there. But, all in all, Mike, a great performance by St. Ignatius and an even better performance by the Friars.
That last shot came from Kempton. It sailed wide. We're down to 22 seconds left in the game. One more shot, and they score. On the score that time is Nathan Zoldesy.
As I mentioned before, Mike, you want to finish on a high note. And a guy who doesn't score that much, Nathan Zoldesy from St. Ignatius, gives him that seventh. I want to say that's number 7. But just a little short today for the Wildcats. I got to say, though, 3 quarters of great play for St. Ignatius. Just the fourth quarter, they gave it up and defensive wasn't there.
This time Moon comes away with it. We're down under 10 seconds left. And 5. And that is going to do it. So St. Anthony's wraps it up and comes away with the victory, 15-7 today over St. Ignatius.
Great game all around for the Friars. They look hot. They look ready to go. They look ready for conference play. That's 15 goals, 47 goals in 3 games.
And Mike Leo, the offensive star today, as you mentioned, very slow start for him, but 5 goals for Mike Leo, all in the second half.
That's what a star does. He doesn't stay quiet the whole game, goes into halftime, probably talk to his coaches, watch some tape if they had it. 5 goals, 1 assist, 6 points for Mike Leo, captain of the St. Anthony's Friars.
And you see the crowd in front of us starting to file out quickly. They don't want to stay around very long on this type of really, really cold day, Chris. So we're going to come back. We're going to break away. We're going to come back and wrap it up right after this on T&D Sports Video Production.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Nobody's leaving yet. Nobody's leaving yet.
Back here on T&D Sports Productions with Coach Keith Weiser. Coach, a big win over a good program in St. Ignatius. What did your team do well today to win that big of a score?
I think we just hung in there and grinded it out, really. The first half, I think we scored our first 4 or 5 touches, and then we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. And to their credit, they came down and possessed the ball and slowed things down and made the most of their opportunities. So I think the second half we came out, and I think they got it to 6-5 with a couple of our errors, and then we finally just settled in. And I think thanks to some shots by Leo there, helped us get our legs back under us. Then we were off and running again. So I think we stayed the course, we didn't panic, and we finished strong.
Going into the second half, your team was up 2 goals. Like you said, a couple of mistakes there. What was your message to the team going into the second half?
No, we just had to clean up the mistakes because we were keeping them in it. We felt like when we had the ball and we're valuing our possessions and not trying to force small window passes or taking some risk. When we were smart with the ball, we were finishing. We had plenty of good looks, so we just told them to play our game and stop forcing some things and clean up the mistakes on the clears and faceoffs.
We talked before the game. Mike Leo, a captain on this team, a leader. Quiet in the first half, came out with 5 goals. Can you talk a little about him and what he brings to this program?
Yeah, no, he's a prolific shooter. We've been blessed with a lot of real good players over the years, and he could be one of the best, if not the best shooter we've ever had, just as far as accuracy and things. When he gets things rolling, he's tough to stop. He can shoot from anywhere, and he can finish.
As we wrap up things here in Huntington, New York, St. Anthony's #1 in the country right now. What's the message to the team going forward in this season?
Yeah, the #1 doesn't mean anything. The one that matters is in May or June. This means nothing. It's based on last year and college signings, so I don't, nice publicity, but it doesn't mean anything. The one that matters is in May and June, so they've gotten that message loud and clear for me.
A great game today, Coach, over a great program in St. Ignatius. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you guys for having us.
As we wrap things up here.
So that's going to do it from here at St. Anthony's, where once again our final score is St. Anthony's 15, St. Ignatius 7. Our director and audio engineer is Mr. Tom Bruno. Camera 1, Dave Stemple. Camera 2, Evan Laurie. Our technical director is Jamie Burkhart. For everyone here at T&D Sports Video Production, including my partner, Chris Caiozzo, this is Mike Trezor saying so long. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time on the Orland and Cohen T&D Sports Video Production Lacrosse Game of the Week.